Grandstand betters and very biased opinions back with you, man. We have Ian, our soccer analyst across the pond. He's going to dive right into our bets. We have four more picks this week. Last week, 2-2. I think we ended up with a little plus money. There was some value on some of our bets. So we'll take a push any day of the week. But let's jump into it. We have Man United Leeds in the Premiership early on Sunday, April 25th. Ian, welcome. What do you have for us for this match?
Hello, everybody. Glad to be back again. Just touching on last week, we desperately needed grandstand bettors to bail us out to get us 2-2. Bit of a stinker for us. I'm not going near La Liga again. I can't seem to predict anything in that one. But the one constant, the one beaming, shining light is Manchester United Football Club. They came through for us once again on our over bets, and we turned to them one more time in an amazing game against Leeds United. You've got two of the best attacking sides in English football, really, and in two sides that will absolutely go for it. They've got nothing to lose. Leeds United have had no fear all season against any team that they've played. They've gone toe to toe with everyone. So wake up early, get your bets on this one, and expect a really entertaining game. We're going for goals again. It's worked well for us so far. We're going for over goals. I think it's over 3, but we think at the very least you'll get a push on this one. But remember, the last time these two sides played, it was 6-2 to Manchester United, and it could have easily been 10-5. And I know in football that's an exaggeration that's easily thrown around, but that game was so open, it really could have been 10-5. So goals are almost a certainty in this one.
Goals galore. That's what we like at Grandstand Betters. Man United leads over 3 from Ian for very biased opinions. Leeds is a fun team to watch. I know that. But one thing I'm not sure of is there a rivalry here? To myself and many of those out there, we don't know much about the Leeds team and who their rivals are. Do they have something to play for against Man United?
It's a rivalry that hasn't been around for a while because it's Leeds' first time back in the Premier League for like nearly 20 years. But it's a huge rivalry. Do not underestimate this one. If you go back through the history of English football, Manchester United versus Leeds is a massive rivalry game. It comes back to almost going back through English history in between the two counties, Manchester United and Lancashire, Leeds and Yorkshire. It's the two major cities from those huge counties, and they've had wars in the past. If you go back and look at War of the Roses, for example, it's all about Lancashire and Yorkshire. So it all stems from that. And on the pitch, it has produced some pretty heated affairs. They've had some pretty fierce battles down the years, and it's great for English football to have that derby game back in the Premier League. And, I'm glad Leeds have stayed up because we're going to get it hopefully for many more years to come.
Yeah, they're a fun team to watch. I will admit, watching them in the Premiership has been a blessing. I'm glad that they are up and they're going to stay up, right? They're going to stay up.
Yeah, they absolutely.
Yeah, I'm sure some of that rivalry off the pitch as well is fun at some of the pubs. Have to go over there once the pandemic stops.
Next year when fans are back, you'll see the atmosphere between those two sides is going to be electric.
Okay, I expect nothing than fireworks on the field being thrown. There we
go. Yes.
All right. So Man United leads over 3. Awesome. We're going to move on to our second bet on Sunday, April 25th. At 11:30. It's kind of a standalone. All other leagues, for the most part, are staying away from this time slot. For respect out of it being the League Cup final, and two good teams here. You got Man City and Tottenham. Who needs this win most, Ian?
Well, I would say Tottenham need the win the most, but both sides won't hold back, and they'll both want it, and they'll both go for it. It's the first domestic honours or first major trophy that's handed out in the English football season. It's usually handed out earlier on in February, but this time it's been delayed because of COVID-19. You've got two great sides in the final as well in Manchester United and Tottenham. It's a competition that sometimes gets overlooked, but it still has a lot of history in English football, and even my own beloved Oxford United, Matt, have their claim to fame, as this is the one major trophy they have way back in 1986 when they won this tournament. Yep, I'll put a little picture on the screen so you can see that. Happy days for a 4-year-old Ian Allen, that I can tell you. But yes, on the field, you've got Manchester City, who This will be the 4th year in a row they've won this title if they win it. They've been unstoppable in it for so many years, which is incredible even in itself. They come up against the Tottenham side, who have probably had one of the worst weeks they've had in a long, long time. All the talk about the English Super League hasn't gone down well in England, I can tell you. It hasn't gone down in the world very well. And then on top of that, they sacked their manager, Jose Mourinho, like 3 days later. On top of that, Harry Kane is injured as well. So their star man's out. They're managerless. They've got Ryan Mason, who's never managed before, in there. And it's a Tottenham side who are desperate for a trophy and haven't won anything since they won this trophy in 2009. So they're up against all singing, all dancing Manchester City. What am I going to go for? Well, let's have a bit of drama. Let's have a bit of romance. Let's maybe tarnish the good name of grandstand bettors a little bit. Let's, if you've got a little bit of spare beer money, throw it on this one, folks. Don't take it too seriously, though. But we are going to go for Tottenham to lift the trophy. I think you're going to get a cracking.
Oh my gosh! What?
Hold on here. Hold on. I'll justify it in a minute. We're going to go for Tottenham to lift the trophy in this one. We're going off pure. The romance of the cup. It's like when the back's against the wall, no one's given them a chance. They've still got some quality players. We saw Man City already lose a cup semi-final last weekend to Chelsea. Guardiola's probably going to rest players because he's got a Champions League semi-final. He wants to win more than this one. We're going for Tottenham to pull off the miracle, folks. And if you've got a bit of spare change down your sofa, throw it on this one.
Who brought this guy in? Oh my gosh. I don't know who booked Ian on our show today, but he's going off the rails with Tottenham to hoist. It's actually at 260. So if you have any spare piece of money, just grab it this weekend. Take Tottenham to hoist the trophy. They're at plus 260. That's a really good price for a decent team. They still have their star Son, right? Son's going to probably be playing in the cup. Now, we won't go too much into this, but I know you touched on the Super League, okay? And for those of us that don't know the Super League, could you just give us like a real 2-sentence, what is the Super League? And is it actually happening, or is this something that came out Sunday and is already dead by Thursday?
Well, it was a massive news story on Sunday, and it all came about from this big power play that the Europe's top clubs have almost wanted to hold UEFA and hold FIFA to ransom to try and get more money. They thought they were going to sign a new contract to like expand the Champions League. And then on Sunday, 12 clubs, including 6 English Premier League clubs, including your big names like your Manchester United, your Man Cities, your Liverpool, Arsenal, Chelsea and Spurs, to name all 6, came out and said that they are forming a breakaway Super League, which would operate almost outside of UEFA governance or FIFA governance, and it involved some of the other top names around Europe as well. And it caused massive consternation around football. Everybody virtually came up straight away talking about what a disgrace it is, how it's terrible, how it's like greed and all that. And very, very quickly it got shouted down. Almost like 2 days later, City and Chelsea came out and said that they don't want to be a part of it anymore, and slowly drip feeding, they've all kind of pulled out now and started to see some of the other European sides pull out of it as well. So it's such a strange one. I mean, for me, it's like it's greed has been around in football for a long, long time. So to be shocked when rich businessmen act like rich businessmen and want to make more money, I don't think you should be so surprised. I don't think you should be so. I don't think people should be so trusting in a morally bankrupt and corrupt governing body in FIFA and UEFA and look at them as if they're the good guys in this. It just brings to home to a lot of people how you've just got the whole game is just dominated by money at the top, and it doesn't feel very good and very nice, put it that way. It's not been a very good week for world football, really, in that regard.
Yeah, from what I've seen, it's been a laughing joke. I know Tottenham may want to win this League Cup final because many are crowning them as the Super League champions.
Yeah.
And that might not be what they want to be remembered for this year. So bet number 2 in recap is going to be the Spurs to hoist the trophy. It's at 260. Throw your piece of money on there. Bet number 3, just a reminder, go over to Very Biased Opinions. They have great Premier League predictions. It's out right now. This weekend's Premier League prediction video. They run down every single match. They give their predictions, and tell you who's going to win each and every one in their opinion. It may be biased. It may not be. Who knows? But Very Biased Opinions, go check them out. They're a great channel, and Ian does a fabulous job on it. Looking at bet number 3, we are going to go into Ligue 1 here. It's a 3 o'clock matchup on the East Coast. We have Lyon and Lille. This is going to probably be a pretty decent game. What do you think, Ian? Is it going to be high scoring, low scoring, good, bad?
I think it's going to be a good game. It's an enjoyable one. I mean, when these two sides are going for the championship in France, and so even if it's not particularly an open game, you will feel like a lot of the tension and a lot of the nerves in it, and that creates its own excitement even in itself. You feel the players will feel the pressure, and you'll just know it's a big game from the way they play. And this really could be one of the ones that decides where the title is going, although I expect it's probably going to go down to the very final week of the season. But when you've got, I think, Lille in first place, I think Lyon are in fourth, but there's only like 2 or 3 points that covers those teams. It's very, very even. And we think this one, it might not necessarily be a classic spectacle, but we do expect there to be goals in it. And we do expect both sides to score. And therefore, we are going for over 2.5 goals in this one. That is our over bet for Lyon versus Lille.
And you mentioned the race for Ligue 1 here. I'll tell you right now, it's probably the best title race in European football. Maybe outside La Liga, or even maybe better than La Liga. There's 4 teams right now in contention coming down the stretch. You got Lille, PSG, Monaco, and Lyon, as you just mentioned. It's 3 points separating all 4. Who's going to take the title in Ligue 1 this year? Who do you think? PSG?
I mean, you would look at PSG and think they are the favourites just because of the quality of the players they've got and the history they have of winning this trophy so many times in recent years. Second to that, you would probably think it's Lyon, just because they were the side that really had a great Champions League tournament last season, and you thought they would kick on and do well in the league, and they have done well. Lille have been the real surprise package. I don't think anybody expected them to last as long as they have in top spot, but they've had a great season. But really, Monaco have come out of nowhere as well. They were they weren't in this title race a few weeks ago, and their form has peaked at the right time, and they're right in the mix, almost out of nowhere. I think my money might be on Lyon in this title race, though, Matt. I know they're in 4th place at the moment, and it's just I feel that PSG, the eyes may be off the prize, and especially they've got 2 crunch games against Manchester City in the Champions League, and their focus will be very much more on those games than it will be in the French League games, because make no mistake, if PSG would rather win the Champions League than the French League this season, that is their holy grail. So they might just be eyes off the prize for them, and I see Lyon as the second strongest squad there, and I feel they might become from even as far back as 4th place to come and take top spot come the end of it.
All right, no, I like that analysis. Just, I'm going to take a flyer. I think I'm going to throw some money on Monaco, and the reason is they're in the best form over the last 5, 4-0-1, and that one tie was a 0-0 draw against Lille. So they're playing some good football right now, as you mentioned. So I'm going to take a flyer on Monaco, Lyon. I don't think, I haven't really looked at the numbers, but Lille and PSG, you're probably not getting good value on anyway, just because Lille is in first place right now and PSG is a known favorite. So if you do want to look at the bottom 2, I would take Ian's Lyon or Monaco as a good bet. You probably get them at least 4-1. Good stuff.
I know why you're back in Monaco. You're going back to cruise ship days, coming into Monte Carlo, having a good day there. All those memories are flooding back, aren't
they, Matt? Nobody knows that I was on a cruise ship.
Okay. Well, I'll edit that. I'll beat that word out.
If you want to find grandstand bettors 10 years ago, or actually more like 11 now, go look at some cruise line videos. You may see a little bit of grandstand bettors, maybe a little more of Very Biased Opinions. It's everybody's favorite time, grandstand bettors over of the week. And last week, for the first time ever, not something we should brag about, we actually won it in Serie A. It was Bologna and Pisa. Bologna won 4-1 again for the second week in a row. We had like 2 goals in the first 18 minutes. Had to sweat out about 45, 50 more minutes of the match, and then it just took off like a rocket the rest of the way. Easy winner. That is really how the Grandstand bettors over the week should go. We're going to go back to League One. We're going to look at Lorient versus Bordeaux over 2.5 plus 105. Great value. Both teams are just outside relegation. They need to play well. They need some points in this match. There's going to be goals on both sides. We like the over, and that is going to be our Grandstand bettors over of the week. Before we head out, are you raising your hand, Ian?
Yeah, I'm being polite. I just want to say that maybe we've been a bit off point with your predictions on your Grandstand bettors over the weeks, but your pronunciation is coming on leaps and bounds, mate.
Thank you. No one has to know. How would they know? No one has to know that the wife comes out before each and every video and tells us how to say them in French. Nobody knows how to do
Unless
that.
it's for the English clubs.
Go ahead and smash that like button for Very Biased Opinions and Ian. He is tremendous. Make sure you go check Very Biased Opinions out, subscribe to their channel, get on their Patreon, do everything Very Biased Opinions and Grandstand bettors. We're going to bring you home this last month of European soccer, and then we'll take you into the new year. So make sure you're subscribed because you don't want to miss any of our content coming out. Lastly, just to recap our bets, because it was about 85 minutes ago we started. 9 a.m. Man United versus Leeds over 3. In the League Cup final at 11:30 a.m. Eastern, Man City, Tottenham. Ian says, grab all the change in your couch and throw it on Tottenham to hoist that trophy, even though they have nobody playing and only Son is going to take them to hoist the cup. I actually like it in penalties. We'll see. 3 p.m. Lyon and Lille. That's over 2.5. Probably the best matchup on the slate, given what's at stake in Ligue 1. And the Grandstand bettors over the week, we're going to stay in Ligue 1, and we're looking at Lorient versus Bordeaux over 2.5 because that's what we picked. Guys, for Very Biased Opinions and Ian, for Matt at Grandstand bettors, we hope you enjoyed the video. You probably didn't, but we don't care because we love you anyway. Have a good one.